Namaskar dosto, welcome to all our friends for joining the webinar today. We'll just wait a minute or so. काफी सारे हमारे दोस्त लोग अभी भी join हो रहे हैं. So we'll just wait for our friends to join in and then we'll start with the session. Yeah, without wasting any further time, let's get started with the session. तो आज का सेशन एक बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक के ऊपर है दैट इज रिलेटेड टू ऑप्शन ट्रेडिंग जो रेगुलर बेसिस पे इंडेक्स में ट्रेड करते हैं दैट इज वीकली या फिर मंथली एक्सपायरीज का सो इट इज द टॉपिक इज मोर फोकस्ड टुवर्ड्स दैट पार्ट ऑफ इट व्हाट आर द मेन थिंग्स टू टेक केयर ऑफ कौन से स्ट्रैटेजीज मोर प्रॉफिटेबल है ऑप्शन सेलिंग ऑप्शन बाइंग क्रेडिट स्प्रेड स्ट्रैटेजीज बेटर है so it will be a focus on that as well as examples के साथ मैं explain करूंगा and there are few other concepts also which are extremely important for anyone who's trading in derivatives to understand कि कौन सा strike price select करना चाहिए जो सबसे one of the most common mistakes जो newcomers जो गलती करते हैं that is selecting the wrong strike price view तो सही रहता है लेकिन wrong strike price select करने के कारण trading में profit नहीं बनता है all these things we are going to capture in today's session so कौन से की पॉइंट्स फॉलो करना चाहिए डेरिवेटिव ट्रेडिंग में नेकेड ऑप्शंस वर्सेस कवर्ड ऑप्शन स्ट्रेटजीज इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ सिलेक्टिंग द राइट स्ट्राइक प्राइस सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ डेल्टा देन द की स्ट्रेटजीज जो हमको यूज करना चाहिए एंड एज वेल एज रिस्क मिटिगेशन दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कैसे हमको रिस्क कम करना चाहिए ऑप्शन ट्रेडिंग में we'll discuss against the importance of stop loss because cash segment and derivative segment में बहुत सारे differences है the speed of trading is much faster in the derivative segment compared to cash segment and your reaction time is much less so risk management सबसे important हो जाता है derivative trading में and we'll have a good few slides on that as well. So before going into the examples and the concepts, let's take a very fundamental understanding of the market. See, अभी जो है index जो है that is trading at 26,000 levels. Why there is so much interest towards option selling? ये बहुत ही important है और जानना है for all our friends in this session. I hope my voice is clearly audible. If just someone could just give a clean thumbs up कि मेरा voice clearly audible है. That will be helpful. Anyone from the audience could just give me a thumbs up that my voice is clearly audible and everything is fine. Yeah, thank you for all. So now let's continue forward. So first is understanding कि option selling में इतना interest क्यों है. So now take the scenario that markets are at 26,000 level. Current आज जो index ने बंद it is closer towards the mark of 26,000 towards morning के start में अगर आप देखा जाए तो 26,100 odd levels. अभी witnessed a correction of about 100 points in trade today. फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट ये बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है अंडरस्टैंडिंग इन टर्म्स ऑफ प्रोबेबिलिटी क्यों इतना एवरीथिंग शुड बी अंडरस्टूड इन टर्म्स ऑफ प्रोबेबिलिटी इटसेल्फ ट्रेडिंग जो है इट्स मोर अ गेम ऑफ प्रोबेबिलिटी रादर देन जस्ट प्योर स्पेकुलेशन सो इफ यू टेक द सिनेरियो मार्केट इज एट 26,000 लेवल तीन ही सिनेरियो हो सकते हैं एट एनी पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम इन एनी स्टॉक एनी इंडेक्स एनी ऑप्शन एट एनी पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम ओनली 3 scenarios can happen. Your markets are at 26,000. Either the market can go towards 26,200, 300 levels on the upside, or the markets can remain absolutely flat at 26,000 level, या फिर there could be a correction on the downside. So these are the three main scenarios that can play out in the market at any point of time. So with each scenario you can associate 33% probability. कोई भी scenario के साथ आप 33% probability associate कर सकते हो. The markets can go up, there is 33% chance. The markets can remain sideways, there is 33% chance. And the markets can witness a correction on the downside, that also has a 33% probability. So if you are an option buyer, अगर आप option buy कर रहे हो and you are trying to make money either on the buy side or the sell side, there is 33% chance associated with it. But if you are an option seller, there is 66% chance that you will end up making money. But everyone will think कि अगर 66% chance है, then why should be I be an option buyer? Therein comes the probability. That is one part, but there is risk, there is margin requirements, and there are a lot of other things which come into the picture when you are an option seller. So just in simple terms, अगर आपने कॉल ऑप्शन बाय किया है, there is 33% चांस आपने 26,000 का कॉल ऑप्शन बाय किया है, and if the market starts moving on the upside, that means you have a good view on the market and you have managed to make decent amount. But if you are an option seller, you have higher probability. अगर आपने कॉल ऑप्शन सपोज सेल किया and you have a view कि market sideways या नीचे रह सकता है, there is higher probability associated with it. क्योंकि अगर दो सिनारियो में आप पैसा बना सकते हो, अगर मार्केट साइडवेज भी रहा या फिर मार्केट में करेक्शन आ जाते, इन दोस टू सिनारियोज यू विल एंड अप मेकिंग मनी. So that is why there is a lot of attraction towards option selling compared to option buying. लेकिन option selling में like I just mentioned, margin amount जो लगता है that is equal to futures, क्योंकि there is higher risk associated with option selling compared to option buying. So to mitigate this, जो broker रहता है broker level पे, he will charge you a higher margin to do option selling compared to option buying. So therein understanding this particular thing in terms of probability is very important. So if you buy a call option, you have 33% chance of making money. If you buy a put option, you have 33% chance. But if you sell a call option, you have 66% probability of making money. And if you sell a put option, once again you have 66% probability. Now let's understand in terms of probability itself. High probability trades usually offer lower reward. मतलब जिसका high probability रहता है एक event होने का, that has usually low rewards associated with it. Now take the scenario that market is at 26,000. There will be a lot of option sellers who will sell the 26,500 call option. कल का जो expiry है, monthly expiry, there will be a lot of traders who will be doing this particular strategy. 26,300, 26,400, 26,500 का call option बेचना. But do note that there will just be around 3 rupees, 2 rupees, 5 rupees associated with these various strike prices. तो जिसका high probability रहता है, see there will be very less chance कि निफ्टी इधर से 600 पॉइंट कल के ट्रेडिंग सेशन में एक दिन में भाग के चला जाए. That will only happen if there is an extreme positive outcome regarding the India US trade deal, या फिर extremely something positive is announced by the government overnight. उसी एक सिनारियो में there could be a 600 point rally in the market. Other than that, there is a very good chance that the option sellers who sell out of the money call options will make money. But do note that you are just covering 3-4 rupees. मतलब that much is the premium that you will receive, 3 rupees, 4 rupees. But in any scenario, if there is an extreme sharp movement against you, you tend to lose money. So that's why high probability trades usually offer lower rewards, and high rewards often have low probability. मतलब जिसका event होने का high मतलब chance, जिसका पैसा बनता है, like buying a deep out of the money option, that is a high reward trade, but there is very low probability. So now if you buy, instead of selling the 26,500 call option, suppose you buy the 26,500 call option, इसमें high, if it market goes that way, you will end up making significant amount of money because your return on investment will be significantly high. लेकिन probability बहुत कम है कि कल के एक ट्रेडिंग सेशन, एक दिन के अंदर निफ्टी 550 600 points चला जाए. So trades which give you very high reward usually have lower probability. So this is what you should understand. And हम लोग डेल्टा को will understand it in terms of probability as well. बहुत बार डेल्टा जो है it is understood by traders only in terms of price action of the market, but delta has a very good learning in terms of it by the strike, मतलब the contract value. So that is 75 जो lot size रहता है, you will have to multiply it by that. So totally you will be paying about 300-400 rupees to take a position in 25,000 I mean 26,500 का call option. But now let us understand it in terms of probability as well. What is the chance of the market going towards that particular strike price? सो यही ऑप्शन चेन है, ये एनएससी का जो ऑप्शन चेन है, आप उसी में देख सकते हो. देर इज सम, यू कैन सी द प्रीमियम ओवर देयर. इट इज अप्रोक्सीमेटली 3 rupees, 4 rupees, 6 rupees. दैट विल बी द प्रीमियम. इट मे लुक वेरी स्मॉल अमाउंट एंड देर विल बी बहुत सारे ट्रेडर्स रहेंगे जो ये छोटे प्रीमियम में बड़ा क्वांटिटी खेलने का सोच रहे हैं. बट नाउ लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड इन टर्म्स ऑफ प्रोबेबिलिटी एज वेल कि व्हाट इज द चांस ऑफ यू एक्चुअली मेकिंग मनी by taking these strike prices. See, you will be trading 10 times, 20 times, 100 times. There will be just one instance where you will be making money, but that is not a consistent profitable money making strategy. This is not the way options should ideally be traded. We'll be talking a lot about that as well, which is the best strike price to select while trading in the markets as well. So now coming to the concept of delta बहुत important option Greek है. ये आपको प्राइस एक्शन के बारे में भी बताता है and it gives you a good understanding of probability as well. The most common or simple understanding of delta is अगर index, that is Nifty, moves by suppose 100 points in your direction, how much is the money that you are going to make in your option. तो अगर करंट आपका जो ऑप्शन का जो डेल्टा 0.3 है, इट बेसिकली मीन्स दैट अगर निफ्टी 100 पॉइंट से आपके फेवर में डायरेक्शन में आ जाता है, यू आर बेसिकली मेकिंग मिनिमम 30 rupees. So 30 means in option premium term. That again, once again, we'll have to multiply by the lot size, that is 75 for Nifty. For Bank Nifty, you multiply it by 35. Likewise, for Reliance Industries and all, every stock has different lot sizes. But what I basically want to make you understand is delta basically tells you, the first and simple understanding of delta is if the market moves by suppose 100 points in your favor, how much is the money that you are going to make in option premium. So an at the money option will usually have a delta of 0.5. So if Nifty moves by 100 points, you are basically making 50 points in your option premium. But do note कि ये जो delta जो है वो static नहीं है, वो dynamic है. So as and when the market moves as well in your favor, delta also will keep on increasing. Delta moves from 0.5 to 0.55 to 0.6, 0.65. The rate of change of delta is known as gamma. That is the second derivative जो हम लोग बोलते हैं. We'll not focus much on that. That's a topic in itself, that is option Greeks. But I want you to understand that understanding of delta is extremely important while trading in the markets. So now moving forward to understanding delta in terms of probability. तो ये दूसरा है, the same strike price we have selected 26,500. You can clearly see the delta जो last मैंने column select किया है, that is 26,500. I have highlighted it in a tabular form as well. So you can see the delta in this particular strike price. ये तो market start होने से पहले मतलब around 10:30 था. So the delta at that point of time was 0.08. मतलब there was 8% chance at the start of today. At the end, it must have gone much lower, closer towards 0.04, 0.03. Means that there is at the start of the day there was 8% chance that the market could move towards 26,500 by tomorrow's trading session. Today, now if you go and check at the end of the day, this 0.08 must have become 0.04, 0.03. That means there is just about 4 to 3% chance that in tomorrow's trading session, the index, that is Nifty spot, will move towards 26,500. That is 600 points on the upside. There is just about 3% chance or 4% chance in the market. See, this is a theoretical way. I'm not saying this is a foolproof understanding of where the markets are going to go. But delta gives you a very good understanding of the probability of that strike price. जो आप strike price select कर रहे हो, उसका क्या probability है of closing in the money, that is given by delta. See, delta cannot take into consideration all the external factors या suddenly overnight कोई news आ जाता है. All those things are not countered by delta. Delta, it is just a theoretical method of telling you, but it is a very good estimation of probability कि आपका क्या chance है of the markets closing in your favor. So that's why when we select an at the money strike price, it always has 0.5 delta. What 0.5 delta basically means is there is 50% chance कि market can close above the strike price that you have selected, or there is 50% chance that the market will close below that. That is why the delta is 0.5. You have to understand it in that manner as well. So other than understanding कि Nifty 100 पॉइंट जाता है तो आप 50 रुपए बनाते हो ऑप्शन प्रीमियम, that is the basic understanding. But in terms of probability, it basically means there is 50% chance that the market will close above the strike price that you have selected, at the money strike price that you have selected, that is. So this is the same concept regarding important option Greek in terms of probability. So deep in the money options, a call option will have a probability, almost closer towards 1. So currently if market is trading at 26,000, अगर आपने 25,500 या 25,000 का call option buy किया, it will basically have a delta of 1. Basically it is telling you there is 100% chance of the market closing about 25,000 in tomorrow's expiry. That is basic understanding of it. So that is how you can understand delta in terms of probability of success of your strike price. When we trade in the markets also, जब भी हम लोग options देते हैं, we always tell the clients as well as traders, आपको अगर ideally trade करना है, you should be selecting at the money strike prices rather than deep out of the money. इसका reason भी है और logical reasoning भी है, which we'll discuss in the end slides, wherein I'll discuss कि return on investment, how it comes, the best return on investment comes best by selecting the at the money strike price rather than deep out of the money strike prices या फिर deep in the money strike prices. The ideal strike price to trade, either if you're an option seller also, ideally you should be trading in at the money strike prices, because you have to have a view सबसे important चीज है. भले ही आप option selling कर रहे हो या option buying कर रहे हो, you should have a clear view on the market, and to generate the ideal return on your capital that you are deploying, you should be selecting the at the money strike prices. You should not be afraid कि अगर मैं option selling कर रहा हूँ, you should not be selling 10 strike prices, 12 strike prices away, wherein you are just pocketing 2-3 rupees, and एक दिन अगर adverse movement आ जाता है तो आपके 20-30 trading session का पैसा ले जाता है. That should not be the ideal way to be option seller as well. Even if you're an option seller, you should be trading 1 or 2 strike prices maximum away on the sell side or the buy side. Because if you are only a directional optional seller, you will be consistently making money. Every time expecting the markets to just remain sideways and make money is also challenging, because there will be days where the markets are moving. Because अभी का अगर आप chart structure देखोगे, the markets are quite dynamic and volatile. They are moving almost by 100-200 points on a daily basis. So in this slide, basically I wanted to tell कि अगर if you have a positive view, if Nifty can move by 80 to 100 points on the upside, it is ideal to select the at the money strike price. You will get decent amount of price action in your strike price. If you select a far out of the money call option, even though Nifty moves by 100 points in your favor, you will just be making about 10 to 15 points in the option premium. It may look like a good amount, अगर आपने एकदम छोटे प्रीमियम पे बाई किया है, बट दैट इज नॉट द आइडियल वे टू बी ट्रेडिंग इन द ऑप्शन साइड. Now coming to few concepts regarding option. So options में there are different, बहुत सारे terms आपने सुने रहेंगे. One out of them is known as IV. IV is basically implied volatility. So जब भी options में heavy buying होता है, the IVs tend to rise, and even when there is extreme demand in the market, option sellers also will be quoting higher premium. So जब भी IV बढ़ता है, the option premium tends to rise. Now how to come to know that the IV is high or IV is low? These are all slightly theoretical concepts, but ये बहुत important है जानने का कि whether to know that IV in the current market scenario is on the higher side or on the lower side. So there are two basic and simple methods to identify IV high है या low है. One is known as IV rank and the other is IV percentile. Sorry. So IV rank is basically telling, it's a percentile method जैसे हम लोग बोलते हैं, means it's a method to calculate the current IV minus the 52 week low divided by 52 week high and the low difference जो है. So this is the basic simple formula, but for this you will have to know कि ये पूरे साल में current IV कितना है, 52 week low कितना है, 52 week high कितना है, and all these things you will have to know. So if you know these values, you will be able to calculate the IV rank, and based on that you will be able to tell ki where the current IV is on a scale of 0 to 100. So if it is higher or lower, you will come to know through this particular method. The other is the IV percentile method, number of days under the current IV value divided by total number of trading days. So if you get a value on this method also, you can come to know whether the current IV is less or high. So these are the two basic simple formulas to calculate whether the IV जो options की IV जो है, whether it is on the higher side or on the lower side. Another very good method of IV is to determine the range of the market. जो option sellers जो रहते हैं, ये IV को they make it use of IV in this manner as well to determine the broad range of the market. तो current IV अगर options का monthly IV, that is, don't take the weekly IV. So suppose the monthly options का IV. So IV how you calculate? अगर आप NSE के option chain खोलोगे, you will get the IV column over there, call or put ka. The most simple method is just take the at the money strike price and you add the call ka IV plus put ka IV and then you divide it by 2. There are different methods to calculate IV. It will be like selecting all the call options ka IV, you add it up, and then likewise for put options as well, and then you divide it, and that way also by the number of strike prices you have selected. Or you basically take call and put ka IV at the money ka and you divide it by 2. So suppose the call IV is also 20 and put IV is also 20. So 40 divided by 2, you will get a figure of 20. That's how you can basically simply calculate the IV of the market. There are traders who will be selecting just 4-5 strike prices because they feel that that has the highest significance and meaning in the market. So they'll select the top 5 call strikes, top 5 put strikes, and then you take the average and you calculate it. So what we are basically doing is trying to find the range of the market. So you find the IV, you divide it by the total number of trading days, approx trading days in a year, and you multiply it by the square root of the number of days remaining in that particular series. So suppose there are 13 trading sessions left, you multiply it by the square root of 13. So you get a particular value, 0.45, 0.5. That is the expected range of the market. So with a very decent probability, this also you can tell in terms of standard deviation, that there is in confidence terms जो हम लोग बोलते हैं, there is in terms of probability you can tell it with 68% probability, that is 2 standard deviations. You can tell that there is 68% chance that the markets will remain within a range of 4.5% from the current market price in 13 trading sessions. So that is how basic mathematics is used by option sellers to determine the range of the market. So there are, at the start of the series, traders generally do this, and then they'll identify that I'll be selling strike prices above this and I'll be selling strike prices below the range of the market. So now we have understood how delta can be used to assess the probability of the trade. We have used IV, judge the premium, fairness, and the potential expansion compression. So when the IVs are on the rising side, अगर आपको IV का chart भी मिल जाता है, and if you see the IVs are on the rising side, you will see very good movement in the option prices as well. If the IVs are compressing, even on a 5-minute, 10-minute time frame, if the IVs are compressing, you will see that the option premiums are coming on the lower side, even though you are getting movement in your direction. अगर IV compress हो रहा है, there is no extreme demand for the options at that point of time, you will see the price of the options coming lower. So now coming to different trading strategies that a trader can consider. Option selling. So जो option selling is a high probability strategies, जिसमें credit spreads होते हैं, naked puts, iron condor. These are all option selling strategies that I am telling. इसमें सारे विन रेट हाई रहते हैं, बट रिक्वायर्स डिसिप्लिन एंड हायर कैपिटल. सो देर आर टू टाइप्स ऑफ स्ट्रेटजीज. वन इज नोन एज डेबिट स्ट्रेटजी, जिसमें आपको पैसा भरना पड़ता है, दैट्स व्हाई इट इज नोन एज अ डेबिट स्ट्रेटजी. द अदर इज नोन एज क्रेडिट स्ट्रेटजी, जिसमें आपको पैसा रिसीव होता है. So credit strategies are strategies wherein you sell options. It is a pair. So you generally do credit spread. Means spread basically means more than one strike price you are involved and doing trading. Naked put selling is another strategy. Iron condor, you are basically selling slightly out of the money call and put options, and to hedge it you are buying deep out of the money call and put options as well. Matlab not deep, but a decent amount away from the market to hedge the positions जो आपने sell किए. So suppose in a very simple manner I have to explain iron condor. Currently markets are trading at 26,000 level. So you basically sell 25,800 put option, and then you will be selling 26,200 call option. उसके सामने to hedge that position you will be buying 25,600 or 700 put option, and to hedge the call side you will be buying 26,300 or 26,400 call option as well. So that's basically a simple iron condor. This requires discipline because many times the markets will keep fluctuating and then ultimately coming back into the range that you have sold. So you should not get extreme panic if there is a sudden swift move. You should have the discipline. पहले आपको डिटरमाइन करना है कि आपको किस रेंज तक आपको पोजीशन होल्ड करना है, and what is the range till which you can bear the losses in the strategy. So these strategies are predefined, especially the spread strategies, wherein आपको start में मालूम रहता है कि आपका maximum profit, what is going to be your maximum profit and what is going to be your maximum loss in the trade. So this is an example of credit bull spread. So in a credit bull spread, this is when the markets were slightly on the positive side, when 26,100 levels where we were at the start of trade. So what you basically do is you sell the at the money put option, and to hedge it you buy a slightly out of the money put option. So in simple terms, when markets are at 26,100, just for understanding purpose I'm explaining that you will be basically selling 26,100 put option, and to hedge it you will be buying the 25,900 or 25,950 put option. That's how you are basically protecting the strike price that you have sold as well. This is known as credit strategy because ये strategy में net you are receiving premium by selling the at the money put option. You are receiving a higher premium, and to buy the 25,900 put option you have to pay, but the cost of that is lesser compared to what you receive. So that is why it is known as net credit spread strategy. You don't make significant amount if the view goes right, but it is a high probability trade that you can consider when the markets are in a trending phase. So like I explained, 26,100 का put option आप sell कर सकते हो, which is the highest strike price, and simultaneously we are buying to hedge the position, to reduce the cost, margin reduce करने के लिए. All these things we are basically hedging to do all these type of things and get the cost of our transaction lower. Now coming to high reward strategies, these are basically debit strategies जिसमें आपको पैसा भरना पड़ता है. Long calls, puts, debit spread. They have a lower strike price. I mean lower strike rate. Generally between 30 to 50%, means even 50 would be high. But they make significant amount of capital for you if your view goes right. So take the scenario. This is the example of Bank Nifty, which was on the positive side in trade at the start. A bull spread is a very good example of a debit spread strategy, wherein you buy the at the money call option, and to hedge it you buy an out of the money call option as well. So in simple terms, this strategy is a bullish strategy, but you don't do naked. जब भी आपको ओवरनाइट पोजीशन कैरी करना है, very rarely should you do it in the form of a naked call or a put option. You should ideally be doing it in the form of a hedge, because however clean the chart may look, you cannot tell with the 100% certainty how the markets will open. Even in a hedge you may go wrong, but it will protect your capital in the long run. So in the long run, ideally you should be trading in hedge positions rather than naked call and put options. That is overnight. Intraday, still you are in front of the screen. You can close out your position whenever you feel that the markets are not going in your direction. This is the payoff diagram. Payoff diagram also is very important to understand. So payoff diagram is basically telling you कि अलग अलग कौन से levels पे अगर market ने बंद दिया, what is going to be your profit and loss. So if you do the spread trade, and if Bank Nifty closes at a particular level, what is going to be your profit and loss at that point of time is basically known as the payoff diagram. So you get a payoff diagram as well, and we have a payoff table as well. ये दो चीज रहते हैं. Diagram is what you see in front of you. Payoff table is basically a tabular form of the same thing. मतलब ये बताता है कि अगर मार्केट ने ये पर्टिकुलर जोन में बंद दिया, what is going to be your profit and loss in this scenario. Now coming to understanding how you should go about trading. See, in trading, kabhi bhi do not be disappointed कि one trade has gone wrong, or two trades have gone wrong, or five trades have gone wrong. That is not the way to look at the market trading. जब भी आप derivatives में या especially options में आप trade कर रहे हो, you have to be confident with your setup, you have to be confident with your view, and judge yourself only after you have taken a minimum of 100-200 trades to come to know whether you are on the profitable side or on the loss making side. So that is why if you have decent capital, do not bet your entire capital in one trade itself. Go about in a systematic manner, wherein you spread out your capital. It's not that आपने एक ट्रेड पे 10 लाख लगा दिया, फिर दूसरे ट्रेड पे 1 लाख लगा दिया. That's not how trading goes about. आपको हर ट्रेड में सेम कैपिटल डालना है, सेम नंबर ऑफ क्वांटिटीज उठाना है, because if you go right, you have to be slightly higher than when you go wrong. इट्स नॉट दैट कि आप लॉस मेकिंग ट्रेड्स में बड़ा पोजीशन ले रहे हो और जो सही जा रहा है उसमें आपने सिर्फ 1/5 और 1/10 ऑफ द पोजीशन लिया है. दैट्स नॉट द आइडियल थिंग. You should be maintaining a same amount of capital over all the trades. So now coming to the expected value, जो एक बहुत important concept है options में. So expected value in terms of option trading is equal to win percentage. What is your win percentage into the average win? मतलब आप जब भी कितना आपका win percentage है, and whenever you are winning, what is the average winning size minus the loss percentage into the average loss. So this gives you the expected value. You aim for positive EV over many trades. Avoid chasing only high win rate setups. See, every time it is not possible. भले हम लोग बोलते हैं कि रिस्क रिवॉर्ड 1.5 1:2 रहना चाहिए. ऑप्शन ट्रेडिंग में क्वाइट चैलेंजिंग व्हेन यू आर डूइंग स्कैल्पिंग इन द मार्केट. अगर आप एक स्कैल्पर हो wherein on a daily basis you are trading in Nifty, Bank Nifty, it is very difficult to get a risk reward of 1:2. That means आपका stop loss 20 पॉइंट का है और आप हर एक ट्रेड में 40-40 पॉइंट का प्रॉफिट बना रहे हो. Those are difficult things. भले कितने भी ट्रेडर्स कुछ भी बोले, these are all challenging things for if you do it on a practical basis. So there are certain trades, it is okay if you cut it out with a reward of 0.8 or 1. जो जितना आपका स्टॉप लॉस है उतने में भी अगर आपने काटा है, that's also decent. It is as long as over a sequence of number of trades you have a decent risk reward. That is what is more important. Every single trade to have a risk reward of 1:2, that is very challenging. It also depends on what type of trader you are. So suppose you are a scalper, you should be comfortable with a risk reward of 1:1 also, or 1:1.5. Between that range is decent, because you have to have a higher strike rate if you are a scalper. If you are a swing type trader, your strike rate may be less, but you will have a higher what you call as a risk reward. मतलब आपका risk will be around 1 and you'll be trying to capture higher returns, because in swing trading the success rate may be slightly lesser compared to a scalper, because in scalping you can react on a quick basis. If your trade is going wrong, immediately you can cut it out and take the exact opposite trade. But in swing trading, generally you tend to hold with a higher stop loss. Now coming to the very important slide regarding selecting the right strike price to trade in the market. Why I was telling कि at the money के options में trade करना सबसे important है is because of this particular slide. Now take the scenario कि आपके पास 1 लाख का capital है. You can buy 3 different strike prices, different strike prices. You can either buy deep in the money, or you can buy at the money options, or you can buy deep out of the money options. So in this particular scenario, if you have a capital of 1 lakh and I have mentioned the premiums for deep in the money, at the money, and deep out of the money. So based in this scenario, we can buy 3 lots of 25,900 call option, जिसका value है 350. We can buy 13 lots of at the money strike price, and we can buy about 30, 35, 38 contracts of 38 contracts of out of the money call option. This is based on the capital and based on the premium. Now take the various scenarios. If market closes at 26,100, what will be your return? If market closes at 26,300, what will be your return? We are assuming that markets will move 400 points in our favor. So if you take that particular view and the market actually goes, suppose the market actually goes 400 points in your favor, let us see in that scenario what is the return on capital that you will generate in the various strike prices. So you can clearly see the highest return on investment. You are taking the final premium, minusing it by the cost. That is your total profit that you will achieve. Then you multiply it by the number of lots that you have purchased. That also you multiply by the lot size. So we have purchased 3 lots of in the money option, because उतने पैसे के साथ 3 ही lot हम खरीद सकते हैं. And then you can buy 13 lots of at the money option, and you can buy 38 lots of deep out of the money option. But when you are dividing कि आपने जितना profit किया है, you have to divide it by the capital utilized. See, in everything it is not at 1 lakh आपके पास है, तो मान लो कि एक स्ट्राइक प्राइस बाय करने के लिए मतलब डीप इन द मनी you have to pay 24,000. So you cannot buy 4 lots. I mean, if it is suppose 30,000, suppose 24,000, you can buy 4 lots. But if it is suppose 30,000, 32,000, you cannot buy 4 lots. You can buy only 3 lots, and there will be some amount of capital remaining. So you have to divide the total profit by the actual capital used, not the 1 lakh figure. So in all the scenarios, I have made use of the actual capital utilized to purchase the amount. So suppose आपने 60,000 का profit बनाया है, you have to divide it by the actual capital जो आपने use किया है वो 60,000 बनाने के लिए. That is the actual return on investment, not just because you had 1 lakh. That should be the dividing figure. because sometimes with 1 lakh there will be an odd number wherein you cannot buy 4 or 5 lots, you will be able to buy only 3 lots, so 20,000 will remain. So you have to divide that figure by 80,000, not 1 lakh. That is what I basically want to highlight. So after doing all this calculation as well, you will see ki at the money options has the highest return on investment in terms of ideal number of lot size buying and in terms of ideal profit generation as well. That is why almost 90 to 100% of the option strategies, yeah, directional calls that we give from the research side at our end are always in at the money options rather than deep in the money call option or deep out of the money options. These are also very important concepts in risk management: position sizing based on the account size and max loss, using a stop loss or hedge trades, limit portfolio exposure to a single event or a sector. That's also very important. See, there are times when a sector will move, railway का theme चल सकता है या फिर defense का theme चल सकता है, but never align your entire portfolio in just one direction. Try to make it a mix, try to hedge it to an extent. Your returns may come down, but you are also safeguarded. It's not only about the returns. Never compare the absolute returns without understanding the risk you are taking. See, there may be one trader who's doing derivative future trading day in day out. His return on investment may be 100 200% for a particular period. Do not compare that with your returns if you are trading in equity, because the risk that the derivative trader is taking is also significantly higher. So you should also compare the amount of risk. Not every trader can trade in the derivative segment, or every trader is comfortable trading in e margin or something. There are traders who are comfortable in that, so they will generate higher returns, or the risk that you are taking is bound to be higher. But do not compare one event with another and get disappointed. You should know that if you are taking this amount of risk, this should be your ideal return on your capital. Now, why I am telling stop loss is very important in derivatives is these are the examples of weekly expiry. See, there is lot of opportunities in scalping. Markets give you lot of daily trading opportunities. But in order to capture them and make money, you should be also very diligent and very disciplined in your trading. See, if you buy an option at 80 and you do not maintain a stop loss, that a price can come from 80 to 5 rupees also, and then from 5 it can again go back to 120. There is no denying the fact that it can go back to 120. But do you have the mental strength in you to hold on to an option position which comes to 5 rupees and then wait it out till again it goes to 120? That's not the ideal scenario a trader wants to be in. So ideally, if you buy an option at 100, maintain a stop loss at 80 75 levels, and close out your position. Once again, you can take a position to recover 20 30 points is not that big a challenge as recovering almost from 5 rupees to come back to 80 rupees. That's almost a losing case scenario. Very few traders will be able to come out of such large drawdowns. So do not make the mistake of not maintaining a stop loss while trading in derivatives, especially options. This is another example of the weekly expiry, which was there a few weeks or months back. We had the price which went to almost 140 150 levels, and from there the market reversed on the positive side, and then we had the entire option premium decay which happened in just one session. So from 150 140 levels, the option price came absolutely to zero. This is a put option because the markets witnessed a positive reversal on the upside. So that is why we always tell, do maintain a strict stop loss while trading in options. You will get multiple opportunities as long as you have your capital protected. If you do not protect your capital, there will be significant losses. These are few psychological things to consistently be on the profitable side. Overconfidence in high win rate strategies. Sometimes there will be phases in the market when a trader will be extremely confident and constantly be over trading over and above his risk appetite. Those are very dangerous phases in the market. Pain of a big loss can outweigh many small wins. That's also a thing. Importance of discipline, emotional control. These are all very practical things. When if you are a regular trader and if you are doing trading day in day out, you will understand what I'm trying to tell. Discipline is very very important. The discipline goes out of the window many times when you are extremely on the profitable side. Markets are in a bull run, you will increase your position sizing to a large extent, and then even if one correction or small drawdown comes, it is enough to wipe out your many days of profit. So do not change your position size. If you have a large capital, your position size also will be less. But if you have small capital, do not excessively leverage yourself and take large positions in the market. Build a repeatable process, ये भी बहुत important है. What you do on a regular basis is important rather than one singular event where you make money. That is not a repeatable process. So you should not be overly excited. There may be one scenario wherein you bought 1 lakh worth of options, and within just 10-15 minutes, because of some news, it became 2-3 lakhs. That cannot be everyday strategy, na. It's not going to happen on a regular basis. It may happen one off. So it's good that you made money. That's a very good thing. But your future trades should be all on the disciplined side, and you should be extremely careful while trading in the markets. These are few other points of managing risk to remember while trading derivatives. Set a clear trading goal. Many times what happens, we have observed also, a lot of people tend to decide to keep a stop loss only once the position goes on the wrong side. That is a very negative or dangerous thing to do. So suppose you have bought an option at 100, and suppose there is a sharp correction and the option premium comes to 60, 55 levels. Then people start considering ki, arey, trade wrong ja raha hai, now I should maintain a stop loss. And then you will maintain a stop loss at around 40. Markets will just come to 37, 36 levels, touch your stop loss, and then rebound on the upside. That time they will feel ki it is better if I had not maintained a stop loss. But that is not the correct or the ideal way. You should be maintaining a stop loss when you take the trade itself. At 100, if you have taken, ideally your stop loss should be at 82, 78 levels. If it gets touched, bad luck, but you can again recover your losses in the long run. If you maintain stop loss at 40, 35 levels, and then to recover almost 3 times your capital, that's a very challenging thing to do. Understanding the margin requirements, option selling में कितना margin लगता है. When the volatility increases, sometimes you will have to keep additional margin. All these things have to be understood clearly. Define the risk strategies. आपको कौन से strategies में काम करना है, you should understand the risk associated with it. If you are doing naked call and put options, what is the maximum risk? If you are doing spread trades, what is the risk? All this should be at the back of your mind. We have regular classes, means online. We keep on explaining basics of derivatives. We explain all the strategies. So we have webinars, almost 5 to 8 webinars we have in a month. That is, so you can attend any of them. If you have suggestions regarding any topic that you want as well, we'll be more than happy. And the last point is always maintain a journal, maintain a record of the trades that you're taking in the market. The reason for this is in the hindsight, it becomes a very useful tool to check whether you are doing trading on the right path or no. So a very simple example, if you have taken 10 trades in Reliance Industries, you will know that your analysis of that particular stock is correct or not. So if you have 10 trades which are taken at a particular time frame, you know that if 6 or 7 times you are profitable, Reliance is a slightly more dependable stock to trade in. So all these type of things or analysis you can come about only if you maintain a trading journal and on a regular basis. These are few concepts which we have discussed multiple times: stop loss, leverage, hedge trades. Let's start with the Q&A. So if you have any questions regarding the session, अगर आपको कोई भी doubt है, please feel free to ask your queries. I would like to thank all our friends as well, whoever has taken the time out and has attended the session today. Thank you for your valuable time. I hope I was able to convey the content in a simple and clear manner. आपका अगर कोई सजेशंस भी रहेगा, इफ यू हैव लाइक द वेबिनार, प्लीज डू suggest or comment. We'll be more than happy to take your suggestions, and going forward we'll always try to improve in whatever topics or content that we provide. Thank you. See, it's a different thing. It's not 68% probability. It is 68% confidence level. There are different confidence levels with which you can. That's the mathematical part of it. It's known as two standard deviation, one standard deviation error. So, with what confidence level you can tell a particular range is going to hold. So that comes in it. I'll just quickly go to the slide. So this is the slide. We have the IV, which is at 20 at the money strike price. So in percentage terms, 20 means 0.2. Then you divide it by the number of trading days in a year. You multiply it by the remaining days in a month. So suppose there are 13 trading sessions left in a month, you multiply it by the square root of 13. You get 4.5%. 4.5% is the range that we expect. If Nifty is at 26,000, 4.5% on the upside Nifty will not cross, and 4.5% on the downside Nifty will not cross in that particular series. That you cannot tell with 100% confidence. You can tell with there are different confidence levels. 68% means basically with 68% your confidence level, you can tell that that index will remain within that particular range. Yeah, so if you have any other questions, we can take it. If there are no questions, we can wind up the session for the day. Yeah, so I presume there are no additional questions at the current juncture. Thank you to all our friends. I hope the session was useful to you in terms of understanding of probability of delta, in terms of delta, understanding the strategies which are more profitable, which have a higher chance of making money, understanding and managing risk at a more simpler level of how to manage risk on a day-to-day basis in terms of stop loss. That's an end of today's session. Thank you to all our friends for having taken the time out and having attended the session. Thank you.